Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about line plots and Venn diagrams. I lumped these two into one video because they're pretty easy to understand and we can kind of knock them out all at once. Alright, so first we're going to talk about line plots. For this whole video I want you to know your essential question: how can information be organized with a line plot or a Venn diagram? Go ahead and write that question down. Left side of your Cornell is essential question. Right side is how can information be organized with a line plot or a Venn diagram. Alright, so vocabulary on the left side, line plot and Venn diagram definitions on the right side of your Cornell notes. A line plot is a number line diagram that uses X marks to show the frequencies, which means number of times, of items or categories being tallied. So this is an example here of a line plot. Now you can see that the title shows us that this line plot is about the number of pets students have in each household, and each X represents households with that number of pets. So as far as households with 0 pets, it looks like we have 5 households here that have 0 pets. That means houses that have 0 pets. And then you can look here, and all you do is count the number of X's that are stacked on top of the number on the number line, and that tells you the frequency. Alright, and then Venn diagrams are the second thing we're talking about. A Venn diagram is a diagram that uses circles to show the relationship between two sets of data. Every point that's inside of the circle belongs to this set, and every point that is outside of the circle does not belong to this set. So you can see here people that prefer cream and sugar in their coffee. So this circle represents all the people that prefer sugar, and this whole circle represents that. This circle represents everyone that prefers cream over here. Okay, so we just use circles to show the relationships between two sets of data, and we'll get into more about what this intersection of the two circles means later on. Alright, line plots. So we're going to start with line plots. You only need to write down the question at the bottom, the very last thing. Everything else is just an example. So this is a line plot to show the number of magazines that a class read. There are 22 X marks in all, so the total number of students in the class is 22. It's just like counting the leaves on a stem and leaf plot. With a line plot, you just count the X's, and that's the number of data points that you have. The total number of X marks above 3 is 6. So when you look at the 3, there are 6 X's above that 3. So that means 6 students read 3 magazines. It gets a little confusing when we talk about two different numbers, 6 students and 3 magazines, but all you have to know is that each X represents one student or one set of data, or one point in a data set. So the total number of X marks above numbers 4, 5, and 6, the total number of X marks above numbers 4, 5, and 6 is 6. Okay, so if you count up all of the X's that are above these 3 numbers, 4, 5, and 6, you have 6 X's. So you have 2 above 4, 4 above 6, and 0 above 5. So that means that 6 students read 4 or more magazines. Okay, so if someone's asking you how many students read 3 or more, you just draw a mental line right here below the 3 and count the number of X marks that are 3 and above. It's pretty simple. So I want you to write this question down. What is the most magazines read, and how many students read that many magazines, and answer that for me in your notes. It's a pretty simple question. Okay. Alright, so to show relationships using Venn diagrams, go ahead and write down the bottom part there and draw this Venn diagram. Okay, so we already know that everything in circle A belongs to that data set, and everything in circle B belongs to that data set. When they overlap, that means that the sets of data overlap. So if we're talking about people that prefer cream or sugar in their coffee, so we'll go back to that one. We'll say all the people here in A prefer sugar, all the people here in B prefer cream. This part where the two circles are overlapping, those are the people that prefer cream and sugar. They like both. Okay, it could also be like the people who love baseball are here in A, and the people who love swimming are here in B. And the people here in the middle are people that love both swimming and baseball. Okay, so it's anytime they overlap, that's going to be people that prefer everything. Okay, so here's an example of how to read or create a Venn diagram in math. So our example is that we surveyed 24 6th graders. Okay, so 3 6th graders were on cross country and football teams. So we know we have to draw 2 circles. The above sentence tells us to draw 2 circles and put a 3 in the space that overlaps. So you have to have these circles overlapping. Okay, and we know that there's a 3 there. And I want you to go and write everything on this page down. So 3 6th graders were on cross country and football teams. So this overlap here shows us those 3 students that are on both the cross country and football teams. Then it tells us 8 sixth graders ran cross country. Well, we already know that 3 of them ran cross country because they also play football. So now we just have to see what's left. So we do 8 minus 3, which equals 5. So in the cross country circle, you're going to go ahead and write a 5 because 8 members total ran cross country. We already know 3 of those 8 played football. So the rest of them just ran cross country. So that's a 5. And the same thing with the football. If I tell you 4 of the 6th graders were on the football team, well, we already know that 3 people were on the cross country and football team. So that takes care of the 3 people who played football. So you have 1 more left because I tell you that 4 people played football. So you just put a 1 in the football only section. Okay? And then if I say the rest of the 6th graders were in the band. Now remember, you have to go back. We surveyed 24 6th graders. Okay? And here we only have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that are accounted for here. So if I tell you the rest of the people were in the band, how many people were in the band? Well, 24 6th graders, 9 played football or ran cross country or did both. That means that 24 minus 9, there are 15 people left that are in the band. So this is a separate circle. This is still part of the same Venn diagram, but it's a separate circle because none of the band members also played football or ran cross country. Now, if there were some people in the band who also ran cross country, then the band and the cross country circle would overlap. Or if there were some people in band who also played football, then the band and the football circle would overlap. Now, if there were some people in band that played football and ran cross country, then you have to make it so that all of them overlapped. There would be another circle right here. But everyone in band was just in band, so that's a separate circle all on its own. Okay? So we're going to practice more Venn diagrams and line plots in the next class. This is going to be a pretty quick little study, though. We'll probably only spend 1 class on Venn diagrams and line plots because they're pretty easy to understand. Okay, so you guys go ahead and bring your notes in for me tomorrow, and I will see you later. Bye.